Hey friends, I want to share with you a little bit on a video about mixed media canvases or layering, painting, and can you hear my parrot talking? Hopefully it doesn't squawk. And this is an example of a painting that I layered on top of just kind of like a therapy painting type of thing. An abstract painting. This is supposed to be kind of like a Mongolian guy that I painted, and you could see the texture in there. I had a painting behind it, and I added some modeling paste and that kind of thing, and I just wanted to share that with you, and how I started with this being the end painting is something like this. Whoops, something like this. And I was teaching a class on, sorry for all the noise, I'm upstairs. I was teaching a class on just kind of putting paint on, and you can move to different canvases and just play, and so it's just to play with the paint and just doodle, make marks with your marking tools. This is like a roller, I think a tape roller and that kind of thing, dashes, add some chunks of color, and that kind of thing. So this one here is one of my favorite ones so far. I could cover this up. I could just leave it and do more things to it. This one I'm not going to cover today or anything, but it's just a fun abstract. And I still didn't work on it, but yeah, it's just a fun abstract. And these are the ones that you're just doing to clear your mind. I got like scraping marks in them. You can see that in the side there. And kind of peacocky-ish birds doodling everywhere. So that's one of them. Here's another one that was doing layers and then stencils. So I did my blocking and stenciling, mark making. I actually wrote the word brave across, and then I did my birds on top. And I may still cover it up. This is just play, just getting color in there. And I know sometimes, like, it's a different type of painting. It's not being exact with your paints and just enjoying them. So it is using your paints and just layering. But for me, I find that sometimes doing this is just something that basically, you know, just what the doctor ordered kind of thing, relaxation and that kind of thing. So here's another one. I got the 3 birds. I got mark making and that kind of thing, and I'm just going across and making different marks across with my paintbrush and twirling paint across and that kind of thing. So these will be covered. This one will definitely probably be covered, but it was just some playing with paints. So back to this one, I think we'll just add some more layers. This kind of a video could take forever, take hours, because it's just so many different layers. But I thought maybe I would do some layers with this one, maybe, and then who knows what else. I'm using some black acrylic here, Traditions, and I'm probably going to be using some deep turquoise as well, and I think I'm going to be using like leprechaun green or something like that. Let's see here. Chartreuse, actually. I'll be using chartreuse. So having a few canvases like this when you're in the mood to go ahead and paint this way is really nice, because then you can let layers dry and you don't have to go too crazy and make mud or anything like that. And what I think I want to do is I'm just going to play with the layers here. I think I'm going to put in some black. And my chair is making a lot of noise. You guys probably, I don't even know if you could hear it. It's probably just more me. But I'm just going to block it. I could use a bigger brush, but I'm using this one. I'm going to block in some black here and then put something lighter on top. And the nice thing, too, is you can dry them up in between layers, but you can just continue with your next canvas and that kind of thing and get inspired. And keep turning your canvases over and that kind of thing. So this is just abstract. This is fun abstract art, and usually I do this up on a easel. I had to think, what was that thing called? Up on an easel. But you could use stencils and that kind of thing too. And sometimes stencils are a little easier when you do it down. I like to run some water through it and that kind of thing too, and have drip marks and just play. And just because I'm doing this doesn't mean I have to cover it, but I'm decided to use my little face, Mongolian face, on top and cover it after, because I just didn't, this is not something I thought I was going to use. So now I'm just doing this last piece right here. Who knows what else is next? I can just start doing some lines, or see, I got lots of kind of wobbly, crazy lines. But there's no rules. You can block out whatever you want and add whatever you want. Nice thing too about smaller brush, it lets you make take a little time to make that decision. And see what you really, really want. So I'm just going to add a few blocking lines here for no particular reason. Don't know if this is going to get covered or not, but it could very well get covered. The black that I have here that seems black is just a combination of a bunch of colors. It's not a pure black as this one is. This is just a carbon black that I picked up to put over top. So it's going to be a difference in my project there. There will be. So this one I'm kind of just rocking my brush back and forth like this, just to get a messy line. And just playing with it. Go with the flow and play with it. And this is, like I said, one of those things that you're not going to want. You could finish it right away, but you're probably going to want to play with it and enjoy the process more. I could go in with a smaller brush too here and define the yellow if I was careful, if I wanted to be, or you could just go in and funk it up a little bit. And because right now I'm not really too caring about it being perfect lines or anything like that, I'm just doing this, getting a neat little something out of that. So I like to paint different things. Sometimes, oops, I wanted that yellow show, but that's okay. Sometimes it's just, you know, not too often is it abstract, but the abstract sure is a nice change of things for me. So I'll just go with it. I have no ending in mind for this, whereas some paintings I have an ending in mind. Okay, I think that's good for now. I'm gonna rinse my brush off. I am going to dry this up, this stencil here. It's a small one. Move this forward. The dog is really, oops, getting my other, I got some paint in my other stencil. The dog is really whiny today. And I really want to just play with layers, so I'm not going to be too worried about it or careful. Just getting the layer on. So I'm just using a cheap sponge brush. You could use a dabbing brush, one of these type of things, pouncer brushes, different sizes. But I'm just going to grab this because I don't know, like I don't need this shade, maneuver them. And I think I'm going to add a little right here. Actually, I'm going to go and do the reverse right here just to have that color. Grabbing another card just to push on it instead of my roller, just to push on it, because I could just grab up whatever comes through from some of the paint went through to the other side. And that's what was kind of messing up my first piece there. Must have got too much liquid in there. But there we go. That's my third splash of this color. I'm going to go in with my green. Where did I put him? I'll actually go in with my orange first. So go in with my orange with the stencil, which we're going to do on the dark parts. And I'm just playing here, guys. I can use big stencils too. I just thought I would use these. And I'm using a brush this time. Now this one will probably work a little better. I think I was just not being, I was being too uncareful with my sponge brush. And of course I got quite a bit of paint here too, but we'll see if I can avoid getting it under. Act like a professional and actually do a proper job of it, but hey, it happens where we're not careful. And we get it under, like that. So, and if I'm not wiping it away, you can expect it to be going under in the next one too, which I'm not wiping it away, so what can you expect? Just getting some markings done here. I think I will put that one down again. This card's already pretty much dry. Put it over top and add some pressure to get what paint was on there off. Back and forth and that kind of thing. Now guys, I'm just playing here and that's all I'm doing. Just to be kind of quick, I pull out a couple of stencils here. They're the same ones, of course, but the reason I did that was just because I do have them for, sorry for my reach, class reasons. I have some spares, and this is one of my favorite background pieces. If I'm covering it and some stuff is showing, some of this is showing, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to grab another card. And I'm going to put some, I might need this for the side just for dabbing off. But I'm going to throw some gesso on just to do this pattern. I love it. And like I said, grabbing a little gesso in here. And I'm going to dab off. And I'm just going to pick up more from where I'm dabbing off here. And I'm not going to be worried about covering the whole thing. I'm just getting the pattern. Playing with layers and just seeing how you feel about it after, and that part is the part that's the fun, is how you feel after. Sometimes you just like, you'll kind of hold your breath and you look at it and you're like, ugh, that didn't quite turn out the way I wanted to. But at the end of the day, you're really going to feel good about what you accomplished. Just the fun layers. And the more you flip things too, like I haven't rolled it around and flipped it today yet. You might like, you know, little pieces here and there. This is like therapy painting. This is not precise, obviously. This is just fun layers. Fun layers on canvas instead of a journal page, really. And just because I didn't want to worry about cleaning in between, I grabbed both my stencils. I could flip it over and rub off what's on there on a reverse too if I would like to. So it looks like this side here is going to have a lot of mush. I'll have to live with that. It'd be really nice to be able to paint like a nice face on here or something too. Or collage a magazine page on or whatever. This is your art and you can do whatever you want. I don't know what I want to do. I just thought, oh, you know, we can do a nice face and kind of blur out the background but still have the layers there that are coming through. And that's one lovely thing about layering it like this. You can still see your efforts in the background. Like I am not going thick with this gesso. I didn't even dry that up, so some of the orange is coming through. But it's going to be perfect. It's going to work nice. positive. There's no mistakes, so just enjoy it. Even if you kind of do something that you're not pleased about, just like, okay, well, maybe I'll do something different, or I can work with that. Positive. Now this one is done. Nice. It's going to be like pulling back some nice white. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, 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 pretty. So where I just thought it was going to be gloppy, it's a little, no, where is it? I think it was right around here. It actually didn't come out too gloppy. So it's not bad. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one in the corner here. And I did move it, darn it. I didn't want to move it. I didn't want to have to move leaf flower. I don't care that it's not centered or anything like that with the way the other one is measured right there. I just didn't want to have to worry about moving it, getting paint somewhere else, and that kind of thing. And gesso is nice. It's a nice thick gesso, and this one's from DecoArts, and I find this is really nice. I can use it as a bit of almost like a modeling paste too. It's not runny, so it works really nice in stencils. And I'm just pulling back some color, and you can still see some stuff in the background, especially right here. And it's not covering up a whole ton, so it's not like I'm taking away a ton of layers. But I could keep going with the stencils and, you know, and adding more and more. So it's whatever, wherever I want to stop with this. So I'm going to continue with this. Is how, I'm just going to move my card here. This is how this piece is coming out. Isn't that cute? You could stop right there, and that's a really pretty canvas piece. So I don't know if I want to do that, because I'm just playing and having fun and using this as, well, a therapy piece. I'm going to grab a stencil here, and I'm using a smaller brush now. These are going to all do different things. So this is going to be streaky, and I can get some underneath, but that's okay. So I'm just going to kind of paint over it. And now that's going to pull paint underneath. So if you get the brush too wet, you're definitely going to have a mess. Just to warn you. I'm just grabbing it on the edge here. Dabbing just on the corner here, but making sure that my brush is not too heavily wet. And I'm going back and forth. Like a dry brush almost, but it's not quite dry. So some of it's going to go underneath, but we don't want it too badly. So we'll see what that looks like. There, just like that. So this is another way of just doing the stencil. I'm just like dragging it back and forth, adding a little bit more texture here. I haven't dried this, but let's see if I can add a little bit more right here, even on top of this teal. And if it's getting mucky or anything, then you might want to dry in between or change canvases. But I just want to pull the color in a few places. So this one I'm being a little bit more rough because it's dry right here. So I know I'm not really pulling it too much underneath. Just to blend it out, that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to have the third one right here, I think. Again, pulling the paint away and trying to get it as dry as I can. And I'm actually going to go. And this one is a kind of a angle brush. Oops, there goes my cord. I duct taped it to the side of the counter. You could do whatever, something thicker, a round brush or whatever, but I was just going for, you use whatever brush you want. And I'm just trying to pull in some color here. Now I'm leaving this a little bit more dry so I can really, and a round brush will probably scrub better, and I'm making a mess of it here. A bit, not too crazy. There we go. There we go. put that one, it's quite dry anyway, putting it underneath my canvas. But there's a little bit of that lime green or that chartreuse green in there. It's fun with layers. Fun with layers. What do you guys think so far? You think you could play with layers, block things off, make some jagged edges, do some, you know, rolling of the brush, streak, let things go. Can you flip it around and do something else? Isn't that pretty right there like that? You just never know. I've got paintbrush in here just to show you guys in all angles. This is a fun piece now. So, I don't know, try some layers, guys, and play with your brush and play with your paints, play with brushes, do different strokes, play with your fingers even. Try to figure out which way this would go for you. So now I'm going to look at it. Let's see. You can look at it or just switch. Just turn it over and go for it. So, I'm kind of playing with that angle. I'm going to dry it up a little bit. I definitely want to actually throw some finger painting here, and I did do a little too much of the teal here, which I'm actually going to be really funny and go over with the black a teeny bit, just to get with this round brush, and it might be too small. The brush, we'll just play with it. Get a little bit of this black in here, and because it's like so much, I can get away with just going a little light brush and going around over top of what I stenciled. See how that looks? Isn't that cute? Over a blot. When you're doing something so mixed up, you can really get away with, oops, you could really get away with doing these, oops, you can really get away with lots. So, going into another color. Doesn't matter. But you can, yeah, you can have fun with this. Now I'm going over some of this just to play. Just going to go fairly dry, not sopping wet brush, and I'm going to go in circles. And I'm holding down my stencil. Going around. Just making some different marks here. I actually wanted to do some navy blue too, I think, so we'll see. Add some more pop with that. Clean off my brush. I'm going to go in up here. Grab the rest of that paint, or some of that paint. I like to go along little edges right between colors too. Kind of binds them or brings them together. It doesn't matter if I even go over top of anything I stenciled either, so I'll put a lot of paint over there, and now I'm going to put more paint here, or gesso. This one's really great because I didn't clean my stencil. Okay. Right. Some elegant finish, and this is gold, and we'll see how much is actually going to get on there. How much is going to get on there? I want to brush it on. I'm just looking for the brush. I'm going to use a roundish brush. I can use a stippling brush. And this is the another kind, almost same shape. I love that shape. I'm just going to add it to some of the places. I'm going to take it off of my lid here, the top part. And because I'm just going to kind of paint it along the lines, because this is the way the stencil is. And this is really opaque or transparent. And just seeing how this layer looks, really. My dog is whining like a puppy. So yeah, that's really going to be cute, I think. I could use something probably more gold, like more opaque, but trying this out, seeing how I like it. And that's the thing, just try something out, see how you like it. Usually it's a finishing layer for me, but I'm trying it in here anyway. Because I don't know exactly, I got a little gold on my side there. I don't know exactly what this finished product, what it's going to look like. So, there's a cute, I love that. That is perfect. I don't know if I'm going to have a nice face on here or what. And I didn't do like too much freehand doodling like my last ones that I have. But that's your choice. You can just do whatever you feel. Today I felt like playing like this. So, there again, my lid kind of, the little inside of my lid has so much gold in it, and then I can't really use it because it's split in half. So, it's going to go on here, all of it. But yeah, I love that. Maybe I'll paint a face, maybe I'll collage a face. We'll see what happens. So, but this is fun because I'm not thinking about it too much. I'm relaxed. I'm not stressing over the finish, what it's supposed to be, because I don't have a plan. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to do this kind of painting, this abstract type of feel or go for it. And I'm going to grab a little bit from the bottom now. Because I want to relax. I want to just have fun with it. I want everyone else to have fun with it. So that's why I do these classes for people, especially when they're stressed. I've had people say that they're totally felt relaxed. And they've had tons of compliments on their work. So that makes people even more happy when people see something on the wall that they've done. There we go. Look at that. I got such, can you see that? Thick, lovely ledges. Now, if you were to paint over all of this, you'd have such depth. But I don't think I'm going to paint over all of it. I think I'm going to use this as a frame for something else that I want to put on here. So, that is my fun day, and I think that's my last layer for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this painting. I know it's not finished painting, but it was just like layers. It can go on and on. You don't have to finish it. Like I said, I can freehand some doodles on top of it if I want to, but I particularly want to, I think, add a theme or something to this, like a face or whatever. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind, but I'm not going to make up my mind right now. I just put it on the side and look at it and admire it the way it is and be pleased with it. And that's what I hope you guys do with your work. Don't forget to craft like a duck. I hope you guys enjoyed this layers of fun release kind of therapy painting. Talk to you later.